Welcome, welcome. We're just a little late today because we're just getting back from our silent retreat. Very excited to be here with you. Welcome, 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 welcome. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hope you're doing well. Happy Monday to you. Come on in. Today we're talking about non-duality, how narcissistic abuse forces the awakening to no thought. This is what we're talking about today. So welcome in. Welcome in. Pardon our delay. And I'm glad to be here with you today. Welcome in. Welcome in. Come on in. Today we're talking about how narcissistic abuse forces the awakening to the path of non-duality. This is what we're talking about today. So welcome in. Welcome in. Welcome in. Hope you're doing well and your Monday has started okay. Very excited to be here with you. And pardon the late start, but we'll make up for it. So we're talking today about how narcissistic abuse wakes up the empath to the place of non-duality. This is what we're talking about today. So welcome in. Welcome in. Welcome in. Happy Monday wherever you are. And I'm excited to be here with you to talk about this topic. How narcissistic abuse leads the empath into a place of non-duality. How waking up from narcissistic abuse brings the empath to a place of non-duality. So welcome in, welcome in, welcome in. Happy Monday. We're waiting for people to get in. We're starting off a little late today. We're just coming off a silent retreat. So this is our first live coming back from a silent retreat, which is why we've been away for a little while. But today we're talking about how narcissistic abuse forces your awakening to the path of non-duality. So this is what we're talking about today. Come on in, come on in, come on in. Tell somebody to tell somebody to tell somebody. This is what we're talking about today. Welcome. Hi, Ellie. Glad you made it and wonderful to be here with you. This is what we're going to be focused on today. So let's get started. You see, thank you so much, Miss Wonder Woman. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Today we're going to talk about how narcissistic abuse, or we'll miss you too, forces the empath to the place of non-duality and divine sovereignty, right? So we may not have as many people today because we started a little late and I've been away for about a week or so. So we're just gonna start where we are and we'll take it as we are. So today we're talking about how waking up from narcissistic abuse brings you to the place of your divine sovereignty. You see, there is no freedom in thought because only when thought ceases does the soul remember its divine position. Because remember, narcissistic abuse and all the abuse you've been through exists in the place of manipulative thought. So this transmission today is a sacred return to remind you you're not broken. You are awakening. You're not a victim. You are remembering. And your breath is the portal to non-duality as the destination. And non-duality means coming to the place of realizing there's no separation between you and the divine. So why are we talking about this thing of no thought as the key to freedom? And why is narcissistic abuse and escaping narcissistic abuse often the trigger for divine awakening? That's what we're going to talk about. So we're going to amass this from an academic perspective, from an exoteric perspective, and all that. So let me start with explaining the notion of no thoughts or non-duality as original consciousness. You see, a state of choiceless awareness goes beyond your mental chatter. And in the scene, there's only the scene, you see. So from a non-dualistic perspective, we live in the mind, and the mind is where your default mode network exists, your programs. This is where your egoic narrative, your rumination, your identity is kept. And you get to non-duality when you come to the place of realizing that you are that. Or as it says in the Tao Te Ching, She or he who knows does not speak, and he who speaks does not know. The place of non-duality is the dissolution of yourself into the cosmos. It's where you move from the programmed avatar into merging with the divine abode. And that's done through the point of your observation, because your reality changes what you see. So the point is, non-duality is not, thank you, Lucy, is not a belief system. It's the absence of belief into pure awareness. And having no thoughts is the doorway to this freedom. So how does narcissistic abuse block your access to non-duality? First of all, narcissistic abuse leads to a fragmentation of your attention. What do I mean? Narcissists overload your cognitive system with gaslighting, with future faking, and emotional whiplash. And that brings you to constant survival mode thinking. And also, when you're disrupted from your breathing, you begin shallow breathing or hyperventilating when there's problems. When that happens, your vagus nerve is hijacked and it disconnects you from being in the present moment. And we know that the present moment is where all the presents are. And to access the presence of the present moment, you have to be present. And as a result, when you're disconnected from the present moment, you hyper-identify with thoughts. Your thoughts become weapons such as, am I crazy? Did I imagine that? And those thoughts reactivate duality, which means there's separation. Me versus them, good versus bad, attacker versus victim. And it's important to know that narcissists operate from a lower astral realm. And so this is how they pull you into it. And in the Kabbalah, for example, this realm is known as the Qliphoth, this hellish place, this shell world. In Buddhism, it's known as Aviki, the lowest hell, where delusion dominates. And where does delusion happen? In the mind. And in the mind, you become a mirror for the narcissist's false self. Therefore, your spirit is cord bound energetically to the matrix of their control. And when you're in the matrix of control, you're no longer an observer. You're no longer in pure consciousness. You're an anchor to a false timeline. This is how you get stuck in spiritual slavery. So your narcissistic abuse is not just emotional. It is designed to trap your consciousness in the hell realm of duality. It's as simple as that. And as long as your consciousness is trapped in the hell realm of duality, the narcissist has effective power to prevent you from rising up to your truth. You see, this is what it's about. Now, everything am I just talking to myself or am I connected? Please tell me, someone. I know there's not a lot of people here today because it's our first live back for a little while. But somebody tell me I'm talking to you. Because I don't want to just be talking to myself, right? If this is connecting, let me know. So let me tell you about the breath as a liberation portal. Every breath you take is an exorcism of illusion. So, for example, in the Buddhist tradition, there's this notion called anapanasati. And anapanasati is, thank you so much, Miss Wonder Woman. Anapanasati is known as a mindfulness of the breath. Similarly, in the Bible, when the Creator made man and woman, what was the first thing the Creator did? The breath of life. The breath of life. That's the Holy Spirit. The Holy Spirit is the breath. Hey, gags. And in Islam, the name Allah mimics the sound of inhalation and exhalation. Allah. You see? It's all in the breath. And in Kriya Yoga, the whole notion of breath control or pranayama awakens your kundalini. It activates your chakra system. And this is what is blocked by the narcissist, because when you're always in fear, you're always hyperventilating. You see, maybe I just take a question. Let's see. Let's take a question. Someone's interrupt. Let's take a question here. So when you get to a place of coherent breathing, you're in sync. Hey, Dawn Marie, with your heart rate variability, which increases your resilience. Hello, Eva. How are you? Can you hear us, Eva? Hello? So let me keep going. The breath, your breath, is the carrier wave of consciousness. You see? Your breath is the carrier wave of consciousness. And what you do with your breath is to connect with the present. This is how you connect to your vibrational frequency. And you collapse dual timelines by returning to source when you're with the breath. When you're not breathing or aware of consciousness in your breath, you're disconnected from the divine that lives in you. Because the breath is the only true anchor not built on thought. It's the gateway from trauma to truth. And every inhalation you take realigns you to your divinity. You see, this simple breath, this breathing of invisible air, this is what wakes you up to your divinity. You see, in the same way we've been convinced that the devil doesn't exist, is the same way we've been convinced that God is in the heaven somewhere. Penda Diop, Bismillah Rahim Rahman. You see? So when you breathe consciously, you are in direct engagement with the divine. But you see, narcissistic abuse is the core initiation into this non-dual awareness. Narcissistic abuse wakes you up to the reality that you are a divine being. How does it do this to you? The narcissist becomes your unwilling guru. Salam alaikum, Majda. You see, exactly, Don Marie. And the way it works with a narcissist is initially you go through a severance when you go through abuse because your false self shatters under the abuse. Then when that is done, you go through despair, which is to realization that your egoic identity no longer holds. Who you used to be is no longer relevant today. Then you go through a process of disidentification, asking yourself, who am I without the narcissist? Whether they were a mother, father, spouse, what have you. Then hopefully you go through this isolation period, Light Spiritual Warrior, where you enter a place of silence. You've read it, Light Spiritual Warrior. I can tell you've been through that. And in silence is where you come to a place of remembrance. And in remembrance, you begin to realize you are not the thought. You are presence. You are not the thought. You are presence. And when you start to remember that you are presence and not the thought, is when you begin to ascend into this non-dual nature, which is apart from the causes and conditions that keep your mind trapped in the lower nature. The same mind that traps you in the lower nature becomes the same mind that becomes luminous and raises you to your divine frequency. Who am I speaking with, Light Spiritual Warrior? Who are you? Tell me who you are or who you're not. You see? So the evidence of how this happens, it's really hard work, Miss Wonder Woman. And the evidence of how this happens is that you have to face the shadow self, Dawn Marie, before light can emerge. Without facing the shadow self, there cannot be light, Ellie Wynn. There cannot be light, Penda Diop. Because the shadow must be faced before light can emerge. An ego death, when you go through an ego death, often follows your trauma. An ego death is simply telling you that on the other side is a spiritual rebirth. It's the same thing Joseph Campbell talks about in The Hero's Journey. If you've ever read any of the work. And Light Spiritual Warrior, can you clear what you mean by you sound like a child with that one? What do you mean? I want to hear what you mean. Hopefully it's resonant and positive. We want to hear what you mean. You see, but this is what happens. And this is how you begin to escape. Let's take some questions. There's some folks coming in, right? This is how you begin to escape narcissistic abuse, right? And transcend to the next level. Because without it, you don't. Hi, Catherine, how you doing? Can you hear us, Catherine? I can see you kind of. I can see the top of your head, but I can't hear you. Are you there, Catherine? I don't think Catherine is there. Are you there, Catherine? So escaping narcissistic abuse is not failure. It's the beginning. It's the beginning of your sacred ascent. Hey, Jay the Rabbit, how you doing? This is your ascent to the next level. This is how you do it. You see? And escaping narcissistic abuse is not failure. It's not. It's not at all. It's how you wake up to the next level. And it's the beginning of your sacred sovereignty through ego dissolution and soul remembrance. Hey, light spiritual worker, how you doing?
Hello. It seems like you're being very condescending with that last comment. I'm just letting you know that, sir.
Okay. You know what? We don't have time for that kind of negative energy. We don't have time for that. Any negative energies will be immediately blocked. We don't know who this is. So this is what we focus on, right? You begin to realize that as a galactic and multidimensional being, what you're transitioning from is a third dimensional reality, which is the reality of duality, fear, and identity. And from then you transition to the fourth dimensional reality, which is the place of the deconstruction of your ego and timeline healing. You see? And if you're able to withstand the pressures of this third dimensional reality, then you're able to make it to the next level. Thank you, Angel of Light. Thank you, Tracy. Probably a knock. You're so right, KB. We don't have time for that. We don't waste time with any of that. Quick. Right? So when you exit narcissistic abuse, you are exiting the third dimensional realm for a higher dimension. Because escaping narcissistic abuse is to go through an interdimensional portal shift. That's exactly what that was. You see? That's exactly what happens. And the narcissists that you experienced are the catalyst for this. Because without the narcissist, how many people would have waken up to the truth that you are a divine being having an earthly experience? You wouldn't have believed it. And then from believing, you come to a place of knowing. And know that everything done by the narcissist was a soul contract trigger, Aaliyah. It's okay. Because the only reason why the narcissist reappeared in your life, Aaliyah, was to reveal to you the parts of you that need to be fixed. That's it. That's all it is. They come to awaken us. And if you're not awakened enough, they will reveal to you what needs to be awakened. You see? That's all they are. So what happens is, there's a question here. What about when you get made out to be the problematic person because your influence negatively impacts you and you speak to it? Bridge of Jasmine. You have to know that that's the classic smear campaign, Bridge of Jasmine. The narcissist uses that to entrap you from expressing your throat chakra. So the smear campaign is actually a spell designed to keep you in the same lower realm that they are trapped in. And it's your job to escape that lower realm, Bridge of Jasmine, by realizing that you are not your thoughts. I know it's a mirror to awaken to healthy dimension. It is. But this is the point. The point is, the moment you wake up to the reality of what these narcissists have done is to end that cycle of abuse. You see, because there are light codes in your breath, Miss Wonder Woman. Aaliyah, you see what I'm trying to tell you? How did that land for you? And if you want to ask a question, Aaliyah, let's invite you and maybe we'll take a question from you, right? This is how it happens, right? They come to you because the narcissist already knows that you're an angel. Hey, Aaliyah, how you doing?
Greetings, everyone. Greetings. Let me just say I appreciate your content and what you bring to this app for awakening.
Thank you.
And connecting all of us. So thank you.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you so much. I'm so glad you're here. So tell us, what's on your mind?
So I escaped about 7 years ago and stayed single for a while.
Wow.
And then recently got into a relationship, and he's a narcissist. It was, once the illusion, the fairy tale wears off and you begin to see, yourself, like you said, this person came to really show me parts of myself that needed to be healed. And I'm at a phase right now with this relationship where I know that it has to end.
Mm-hmm.
The relationship has to end, and I'm ready to level, I'm ready to excel, and I'm ready to really be who I am called to be, who I know that I can be in my heart. But I spend so much time trying to diffuse situations, and it's just exhausting. It's exhausting.
What is it about this narcissist that revealed to you that they are a narcissist? Tell me a little bit about that.
Well, the gaslighting.
Yeah.
Is major. It's a lot of gaslighting going on.
Yeah.
Very, very domineering personality tries to and really needs a lot of my time. Will ask for a lot of my time and my attention. And I'm a business owner, so my business is my baby. He's not my husband. We're not married, and it feels like he tries to suck the life out of me. That's what it feels.
Can I ask you can I ask you a few questions just to go a little deeper?
Please do.
How was your relationship with your dad?
I did not have one. My father passed away when I was 15.
I heard the emotion in your voice. I heard it. It slipped. I heard it. Do you know what this narcissist came to teach you?
No, I'm not clear on what it is.
Okay. The narcissist came to teach you that you no longer need to carry a father wound.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
This narcissist came to reveal to you that you no longer need to carry the archetype of a wounded masculine. I know you're feminine. I know what I just said to you.
Yes.
And the other thing they came to show you is that you cannot be with a non-chosen person who's not on their own purpose.
Okay.
See, when you start to realize you're chosen or called, you can't be with anybody who's not chosen or called.
At this point of at this big old age, I'm ready to just be. I started reciting this mantra to myself last month.
Yeah.
Not last month, in March.
Yeah.
And I've been saying this mantra to myself over and over, and it's single, successful, and celibate.
So let me take it a step further. So single, successful, and celibate, I can relate to that, but there's a next level to that, Aaliyah.
Okay.
It's not about, if you want to be celibate and be a nun, that's a wonderful effort because you have one love, and the love is the love of the divine.
Yes.
But most empaths, when you come into resonance and self-love, you don't have to do anything about attracting another empath who's on the same frequency. Now, you cannot attract an empath on the same frequency until you've done all the shadow work.
Okay.
And the reason why Mr. Narcissist showed up in your life is to show you, Aaliyah, you don't need this motherfucking father wound. Excuse my French. You don't need this father wound anymore. You've carried it for so long.
Yes, I have.
Am I making this up, Aaliyah? I mean, you're not telling me anything.
No, you're not. You're not.
I mean, I could just be trying to sound like I know what I'm talking about, Aaliyah.
No, but you're very spot on. I have been carrying that father wound and being in my masculine energy.
And you're called Aaliyah. And look, Aaliyah, wealth and wellness. Do you think wealth and wellness is a masculine game or a feminine game?
Feminine.
Why?
Well, I feel that wealth and wellness is a feminine game because it helps when I speak about my content. I want to resonate in my femininity. I want to be.
But what are you resonating in right now, Aaliyah?
Right at this very moment, I'm upset.
Because you're in your masculine. And why have you been living in your masculine for all these decades, Aaliyah?
A defense mechanism.
Against what?
People that I think that may be out to hurt me.
And most of these people were who? Men, weren't they?
Yes.
Shit. So who did that?
Yep, they have. Most of them have. Every man in my life has caused some form of pain.
Do you know why all these men have caused pain to you?
No, I don't.
Because your father leaving was the biggest pain. So the only pain the only way to relate to a man is a man who eventually will bring pain to you. That's your mental model.
Wow.
Aaliyah, you got to tell me, my sister, am I talking to you or am I just talking to myself?
No, you're speaking facts.
So this is for you. This is Black Thought versus everybody, okay? This is for you. Black Thought versus everybody. And the words from this song, this is Black Thought telling the world, me versus everybody. I can't be stopped. And I live in my divine feminine energy. They ask why I seem so solid. On the throne between 3 stone columns. You know the name, fucking up the game, no condoms. Everybody got their first world problem. The truth is inconvenience, non-believers. Thinking back at dreamers instead of FEMA. Depends on being a Fiji, I was cleaner. You walk around and read the next Gina. It's eyes rising at the same time like it's synchronized. For making art, for making everybody. Black Thought says me against everybody.
Yes, I love Black Thought.
So, do you know what this means?
No, please tell me.
You've been fighting an invisible war, Aaliyah.
Wow.
A war that doesn't exist except in your mind.
Wow.
And you've created the angels and demons of wounded masculines in your mind, and you find them. If they're not there, you will create them.
Oh my gosh. How can I shift this? How can I shift this? Like I need
just look at me, Aaliyah. Look at me. Are you looking at me?
Yes.
Can I invite you to say these words with me?
Yes.
I am safe.
I am safe.
I am very safe.
I am very safe.
I am safe.
I am safe.
It is safe to be me.
It is safe to be
I
me.
am love.
I am love.
I am love personified.
I am love personified.
Love flows through me.
Love flows through me.
Love unblocks all my hate.
Love unblocks all my hate.
Thank you for the lessons, hate.
Thank you for the lessons, hate.
Because you brought me to love.
Because you brought me to love.
To the biggest love in my life.
The biggest love in my life.
The love of I and I.
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 Because I am love.
Because I am love.
Connected to the source of love.
Connected to the source of love.
I am the divine feminine.
I am the divine feminine.
I am Sekhmet embodied.
I am Sekhmet embodied.
I am Nefertiti embodied.
I am Nefertiti embodied.
I am Tehuti embodied.
I am Tehuti embodied.
I am the all.
I am the all.
I am nothing.
I am nothing.
I am the all.
I am the all.
I release the ghost of you, Dad.
I release the ghost of you, Dad.
I forgive 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 you, Aaliyah.
I forgive you, Aaliyah.
For holding on to this pain.
For holding on to this pain.
And attracting villains because of the characters in my mind.
And attracting villains because the characters in my mind.
I did that.
I did that.
No one did it to me.
No one did it to me.
I did that.
I did that.
And that's proof that I am the creator.
That is proof that I am the creator.
I am the creator.
I am the creator.
I am.
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 Woo!
Woo! Thank you so much. Every time you call me on this live, this is amazing.
You know, there's no one like you, right?
No one like Aaliyah.
You know why? Because your love is 1 in a million.
Yes, it is.
This is how it begins. This is how it begins. You know, sometimes we think awakening is 1,000 exploding suns, but often awakening is very ordinary, like what you and I are doing right now, co-creating.
Yes.
And you're already awakened because all those men who hurt you because you gave them permission. They hurt you because you invited them in, and they hurt you because you needed them to prove to you that you've been creating these stories in your mind and your consciousness the whole time. Why?
Wow. Wow. Wow.
Aaliyah, did I just say something?
Wow.
What are you realizing?
That you are so right. I had this epiphany a few days ago, and I'm saying to myself, I'm literally creating these scenarios that I'm going through. So this is when I started to recite these affirmations to myself to help heal that internal dialogue. Because why am I creating these?
You got it. You got it. You know the reason why you're creating is this is how you're learning how to use your power. Your power unconscious makes you the demon in your own life.
Yes.
Your power consciously makes you the supreme architect, the divine architect of your own life. The reason why it's difficult to transition from being the angel, from the demon to the angel, is because the program is so deeply calcified.
Yes. It's so deep in my subconscious.
And this is what we do. This is what we do. We break those strongholds. Sometimes it happens in one conversation. Sometimes it takes a year. But this program is the devil. The devil trying to block your freedom in here. Freedom is here.
Yes.
It's right here.
Yes.
Do you see what I'm trying to tell you?
Yes.
I'm so grateful for you, Aaliyah.
I'm grateful for you.
And you know, I know there's a warrior in you, but the warrior needs the princess. So let that princess come out. Let that queen come out. And the queen, the most powerful queens in the world are the most soft-spoken.
Yes, they are.
That's the true power.
Yes.
Step away from this masculine matrix. The masculine matrix is an archetype that serves you in no way.
No way.
You don't need it. You don't need it.
Thank you so much.
It's always an honor, and you're welcome back here anytime. You hear me?
Every time I see you, I jump on.
I'm so grateful for you. You know why? Because I am you.
Yes. You're all connected.
I'm sending you lots of love today. Yes, Aaliyah?
Thank you.
I really appreciate it. Peace and love. 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 Yeah. You see, this is the message. The message today, global. I love my father unconditionally. I did not think he knew it, but everyone else did. He knew it. Global, he knew it. But he used you to regulate himself. Oh, Ray James. This is beautiful, Ray James. It's so beautiful, Ray. I remember you, Ray. There's no one like you, Ray. Ellie, Jack Squidium, the negative energy. Sometimes the negative just comes to remind us of what positive is. You see, we can't be stopped. We can't be stopped. Dawn Marie, we can't be stopped. Miss Wonder Woman, Brett, Shutterbug, we're all in this together. And today, just remember that you're a spiritual being having a human experience. And I tell you, this point of telling yourself you're a spiritual being having a human experience is the beginning of being born again. You won't believe it at first because you don't know it. I'm a spiritual being. What is this thing? But the more you nurture that, by gazing at your navel, by being aware of your breath, by being aware of the present moment, this is how you begin to connect and believe in that divine nature. Nobody can initiate you into it. Only you can, Miss Wonder Woman. Only you can. This is the power we all have. Only we can. Of course, Penda Diop, you know what it is. You see, this is what it is. that the more you begin to wake up to your divine nature, is to wake up to this illusion that what you're living is nothing but a simulation of your own mind. Because let me ask you a question. If you are not here, what's the evidence that the world exists? The world cannot exist without you. The world cannot exist without your awakening. So when you wake up in the morning, the world becomes evident. When you're asleep, how do you know the world exists? You don't. That's the evidence. The world does not exist without you. You create the world. Am I hitting somebody, or am I just talking to myself? You see, this is the whole game. This is the whole game, and this is how you begin to disconnect from what hurts you, which is all illusory, to what guides you, which is the real. You see what I mean? So I know I've been away for a little while. I was a silent retreat and just got back and just getting back into the swing of things. So really excited to have connected with you. And for anyone that can be of help, to know that I have a masterclass that begins on June 6th. You can register by May 25th at my website, innermileage.com. It's going to be a very powerful course on escaping narcissistic abuse over the weekend. So check that out. And you can book a free session on my website if you want. Must I take space from the narcissist, or somehow hold space for what they come with? I've been told it's a problem when I cut peeps up because I'm holding boundaries on my health. Bridge, you just answered your own question. You know, love all, but why would you be in constant cohort with a demon? Unless you're still exercising your own demonic side, I don't know. And nobody has the permission to tell you who to give permission to. That is manipulation, Bridge of Jasmine. So, folks, you know, I mean, just sending much love to you all. You know what I mean? And it's just it's a brand new day, and you know, this is living, and living happens in the moment, and in the moments you discover the truth of the God that you are. You see, you realize that there's no one like you. So just remember, no matter what you do as you go into this week, that you are a human being having a spiritual experience. So this is the message. And I want to leave you with this song from the Wu-Tang Clan. This is called Triumph. Wu-Tang Clan, Triumph. Wu-Tang, Triumph. Wu-Tang Clan, Triumph. And listen to the mathematics from this great man from Staten Island. What? Big up yourself. Make this a triumphant week for yourself. I will get back together again on Wednesday at regular schedule. Sorry I was a little late today. And look forward to cracking more codes with you on Wednesday. We're triumphant. That's what it is, Dawn Marie. So remember, Ellie Wynn. Remember Global, remember Bridge of Jasmine, Triumph, like the Wu-Tang Clan said. These are codes. You hear that? Woo! Peace and light, folks. Peace and light. Peace and light. One love. 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 One love, one love, one love, one love, one love, one love, one love.